welcome to day 7 of 100 Days of Code with Chimdi and Samuel.
As usual, I started the day by praying and I was ready to start coding. So I'm in the last two videos for the Makecard Flutter app, and I don't know if I'm really finding it very interesting. It's a bit boring in my opinion because it's all about understanding the layout, containers, and the rest. And I know they are very vital information, so I can't skip it. So, anyways, I continued, and in my last video, I learned about adding the circle avatar, and then the next thing I needed to do was learn how to add the material icons and understand the Flutter card and list file widget. So I went on with that because I had to add my vital information to, or my information here to the make card. So like it's a make card, so it's a card, and I had to add my number and the rest of them. So I needed to understand how the Flutter card and the material icons work. Okay. First, you must forgive me for adding this black element on my screen, covering my code and also covering my number. So while I was coding, I totally forgot that I was going to upload this video online for people to see, and then I accidentally used my real phone number. So that's why I have this black element covering it and covering my number whenever I run the app. So the first thing that I did here was I added the first row that will contain my icon and then that will contain my number. So just forgive that you're going to be seeing these elements all over the rest of my code to hide my information. And then I added the margin, that's the space outside the container. So they were all like jumbled up at the edge of the screen, and I added the margin to give space between it. Angela gave us a challenge to do. It was really simple because the first container contained my phone number, and then the next one was supposed to contain my email. So that was a challenge. The challenge was to do that on my own. So I added my text and I added my icon, and everything was looking good. So this is where the card widget comes in. So instead of using the container widget, because I think the container widget, you are kind of limited to, I think, some of the styling that you can do, and it might be a bit more longer. It might be a longer process. So we learned about the card widget, and we had to change the containers to a card widget. So basically, I had to like delete most of the codes, kind of like cut them and paste them. So for the card widget, it comes with things like title and the leading. So the leading is like the icon that would be placed in that card, and then the title is the text that is going to be placed beside the card, beside the icon rather. So I had to delete most of my codes, copy them, and paste them in the required children for the card widget. So by the time I did that, I ran my code and everything was looking good. And I noticed like the card was kind of elevated a little bit, just a little bit. Then I centered the whole column in the app. So I made a few mistakes because I was using the wrong kind of alignment. I was using the cross instead of the main. So, but I was able to correct that, and I centered the whole column to the center of the app. And lastly, I added a horizontal line just underneath the Flutter developer text. So you might not see it because, like I said, I'm trying to cover my important information, but I actually added the horizontal line after the text. I ran my code and I was fine. So that brings me to the end of the 7 of 100 days of code with Chimdi and Samuel. I'm so glad this is the longest that I've gone in this Flutter course. I said I already started the Flutter course some time back, and I just went through the first and the second section or so. And this is the longest that I've gone. And I'm also glad that I was able to maintain 7 days of consistency. This is also the longest that I've done. I usually stop at 2 days or 3 days and I just get very tired. But this is the longest that I've done, 7 days coding streak, and I'm super proud of myself. Next week, I'm going to be going into a whole different section, and I can't wait for that. So I'm going to see you guys at the 8th. Make sure you follow all my social medias and have a lovely day. Bye.